Imagine a place so dry, it hasn't seen rain in centuries. A land that looks more like Mars than Earth, where flowers bloom from dust, ancient civilizations thrived, and telescopes peer into the edge of the universe. Welcome to the Atacama Desert, a place of extremes, enigmas, and breathtaking beauty. Located in South America, stretching 1,600 kilometers across northern Chile and parts of southern Peru. Nestled between the Andes Mountains and the Pacific Ocean, it forms a narrow plateau west of the Andes. Covers over 105,000 square kilometers, roughly the size of Iceland. The Atacama is the driest nonpolar desert in the world. Some regions receive less than 1 millimeter of rain per year, and certain areas haven't seen rainfall in over 500 years. The dryness is caused by a triple barrier. Andes Mountains block moisture from the Amazon. Coastal mountains block Pacific humidity. The Humboldt Current cools the air, preventing cloud formation. Despite being a desert, it's classified as a cold desert, with temperatures ranging from 0 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius. The Atacama is the largest fog desert on Earth. Moisture comes from Camanchaca, a dense coastal fog. Plants and animals survive by harvesting fog drip using specialized structures. Scientists study this to develop fog harvesting technologies for water-scarce regions. In places like Chañaro Province, locals extract fresh water from fog using fog nets, a mesh system that condenses moisture into droplets. This water is used to irrigate crops like aloe vera, a drought-resistant plant with medicinal value. Fog harvesting is now studied globally as a sustainable water solution for arid regions. Salt pans, flat, white expanses formed by evaporated lakes, rich in lithium and sodium nitrate. Alluvial fans, cone-shaped deposits from mountain runoff, often covered in pebbles and dunes. Tamarugal Plain, a raised depression with underground aquifers supporting rare tree growth. Volcanic cones, some exceed 16,000 feet, 4,900 meters, forming part of the Andes chain. Cliffs and coastal mountains. The Cordillera de la Costa rises abruptly from the Pacific, with cliffs over 1,600 feet, 500 meters, with 300 plus clear nights per year, high altitude, and zero light pollution. The Atacama is a global hub for astronomy. Home to world-class observatories. ALMA, Atacama Large Millimeter Array, Paranal Observatory, La Silla Observatory. Astronomers use these to study galaxies, black holes, and cosmic microwave background radiation. The Atacama shares floristic links with deserts in North Africa, Central Asia, and Australia, especially in salt-tolerant plant families like Frankoniaceae and Chenopodiaceae. It's one of the few places where natural ecosystems are nearly devoid of trees, due to extreme dryness and human impact. Its Mars-like soil is used by NASA to test rovers and study extremophile microbes. Every few years, rare rainfall triggers a phenomenon called Desierto Florido, the flowering desert. Thousands of dormant seeds burst into life, painting the desert in purple, yellow, white, and blue hues. This event is threatened by climate change and human disruption. NHA bited for thousands of years by pre-Columbian cultures like the Chinchorro and Atacameños. Evidence of Inca trails, petroglyphs, and mummified remains. In 2021, researchers discovered 27 mummified parrots, likely transported from the Amazon as symbols of wealth. These parrots were used in ceremonial headdresses, showcasing ancient trade and prestige. Rich in sodium nitrate, once used for fertilizers and explosives. In the 19th century, the Atacama was the world's largest nitrate supplier. Today, it provides 1/3 of the world's copper, along with lithium, boron, silver, and gold. Abandoned mining towns like Chacabuco and Santa Laura are eerie remnants of this boom. A giant hand sculpture rises from the sand near Antofagasta, created by Mario Irarrázaval. Symbolizes human suffering and resilience, especially in the context of Chile's past human rights violations. A surreal landmark that adds emotional depth to the barren landscape. Despite the harshness, life persists. Vicuñas, guanacos, and foxes roam the highlands. Cacti, lichens, and bromeliads thrive using fog moisture. Microbial mats in salt flats are studied for extremophile biology. Over 1 million people live in the desert region. Cities like San Pedro de Atacama and Calama are cultural and tourist hubs. Indigenous communities maintain traditions of camelid herding, salt harvesting, and pottery. Some mountains over 6,000 meters have no glaciers due to extreme aridity. The Atacama may be the oldest desert on Earth, with 3 million years of continuous dryness. In 1991, Rare rainfall caused mudflows that killed 91 people, highlighting how unprepared the region is for water. The desert soil contains rare meteorites, making it a hotspot for space rock hunters. The coastal area of southern Peru is also considered part of the Atacama by National Geographic. Despite being one of the driest places on Earth, the Atacama hosts specialized plant life adapted to extreme aridity and saline soils. Fog harvesting. Plants like tillandsia and bromeliads absorb moisture from the fog, camanchaca, using trichomes, tiny hair-like structures on their leaves. Succulents and xerophytes. Aloe vera and cacti store water in fleshy tissues and have waxy coatings to reduce evaporation. Salt-tolerant species. Plants from the chenopod family, saltbushes, thrive in saline soils, especially near salt pans and coastal zones. Ephemeral bloomers. During rare rain events, dormant seeds sprout into vibrant wildflowers. This phenomenon is called Desierto Florido, flowering desert. Nolana, a desert wildflower with blue blooms. Oxalis gigantea, a tall flowering shrub, Cistanth longicaupa, dominates during bloom years. Prosopis tamarugo, a tree that survives on underground water in the Tamarugal Plain. Life here is sparse but remarkably resilient, with species adapted to temperature extremes, scarce water, and high altitudes. Vicuñas and guanacos, camelid species that graze on high-altitude grasses. Andean fox, Colpeo, a solitary predator adapted to desert and mountain terrain. Chinchillas, once abundant, now endangered due to fur trade. Andean flamingos, found in salt lakes like Laguna Choxa. Puna ibis and Andean avocets, thrive in high-altitude wetlands. Burrowing owls, nest in dry plains and feed on insects and small rodents. Leolemus lizards, thermoregulate by basking on rocks. Atacama toad, rare amphibian surviving in isolated moist pockets. Scorpions and beetles, active at night to avoid heat. Fog beetles, collect water droplets from fog on their backs. Pan de Azucar National Park, meaning sugarloaf, is a breathtaking protected area located along Chile's northern coast, straddling the Atacama and Antofagasta regions. Established in 1985, the park spans over 43,754 hectares, 108,000 plus acres, including 1.1 square kilometers of insular terrain. It lies just 30 kilometers north of Chañaral and 180 kilometers north of Copiapo, making it accessible yet remote enough to preserve its pristine beauty. The Atacama Desert is more than just sand, it's a living paradox. A place where science meets silence, where ancient cultures whisper through the rocks, and where the stars shine brighter than anywhere else on Earth. The Atacama Desert isn't just a barren wasteland, it's a living laboratory, a cultural relic, and a window into Earth's extremes. From fog-fed forests to flamingo-filled salt lakes, it defies expectations at every turn.